He's also been a Hawk instructor. In fact, he's the only pilot on the team who is instructed on this version of Hawk, the Hawk T Mark I. He's also instructed on the Royal Air Force's new advanced jet trainer, the Hawk T Mark II. Well, out to the left, the smoke's gone off for a very iconic shape. This is of the supersonic airliner, and it's Concorde. Another formation change now. You'll see Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move forward to Red 1's wing. Reds 8 and 9 move forward to Red 7's wing at the back. And this forms the shape of feathered arrow. Well, back in the 1960s, they decided that feathered arrow was a bit too much to say on the radio. So now we call this formation Fred. Well, that's the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display, ladies and gentlemen. So far, you've seen all 9 aircraft in close formation, performing close formation aerobatics. So we're now going to split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 jets and show you some more dynamic flying. Reds 1 to 5 at the front are known as Enid, after the British author Enid Blyton and her books, The Famous Five. At the back, Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 are known as Jippo, and that was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays in 1968. Well, out to the front now, we're in a shape called Dagger, and get your cameras ready as we start the second half of the display with the detonator. Enid split, keep your eyes on Jippo underneath. With his red smoke changing white, on the left hand side is Red 6. He is the leader of the synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. James is in his 3rd and final year with the team. He actually grew up in New Zealand, but transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002 and became a Hawk flying instructor and Harrier pilot. On the left, he's followed by Red 8. If you look to your right, with the smoke on, is Red 7, and he's chased down by Red 9. These 4 aircraft are now closing at 850 miles per hour. Cameras ready for the Jippo pass. The synchro pair have left their smoke on. They're now turning away from us, pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. That means everything in their bodies weighs 6 times more than normal. The pilots work hard to counter the G-force as they roll out towards us and fly the Cyclone. As the synchro pair slingshot out to the front, you need to look to your left to find Enid.
That's pretty good timing. Enid, step down.
To the left, the wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V shape. Look to your right, there's a lone jet. The smoke comes on for Red 9. He's now going to perform the Goose. Steeply with a Red red, white and blue stripe is Red 9. He's Flight Lieutenant Mike Child, and Mike is another third-year pilot with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor, Hawk display pilot, and operationally Mike flew the Typhoon, the Royal Air Force's new multi-role combat aircraft. Now you need to look directly to the head to find the synchro pair. Pulling up at 500 miles an hour and 5G in line astern. The jets reach a height of 7,000 feet. On comes their white smoke as they've gone full, ladies and gentlemen. They get ready to draw a heart. And keep your eyes top left of the hearts. There's a third aircraft approaching with his smoke on. This is Red 8. He's Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. And Perty is a third-year pilot with the team, a former Hawk instructor and Hawk display pilot. Martin then flew the Harrier operationally. And just before we arrived in Malta today, Martin got a message from home saying that his wife has just given birth to their second baby today. So that heart is for Martin and his family. Left and right now, watch the synchro pair descend to just 100 feet, ready to perform the opposition barrel roll. Now, if you look to your right, you'll see Enid have been joined by Reds 8 and 9. In fact, Red 8's been flying around at 600 miles an hour to get back in formation with the rest of Enid, having just been part of that heart. They're in big battle formation, and the coloured smoke is about to come on so they can perform the revolution. Each of the pilots in the revolution there performing what we call an aileron roll manoeuvre. So that is just a full left-hand control column input, and that rolls the aircraft rapidly around the longitudinal axis. And the key to that manoeuvre is getting all 7 jets doing it at the same time. Left and right again for the synchro pair. This time Red 6 comes from our right and Red 7 from our left. They're closing at 800 miles an hour to cross 3 times in opposite direction 360-degree turns at 6G in the carousel. Notice the pilots are swapping their smoke colour at each of these 3 crosses. They're using the individual colour control buttons on the aircraft's control column. Out to the right, 45 degrees now. Enid are in a shape we call leader's benefit, and they're drawing a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. On the far right of the Enid formation is Red 4. He's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr, and Ollie is a second-year pilot with the Red Arrows. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but he has also spent a tour as an instructor teaching advanced flying training on the Hawk T1.